And well. Welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watsu-K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. If you're brand new, welcome aboard. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Very much appreciate it. But we're going to do something we do every year. We're going to make predictions for WrestleMania. I don't do a ton of wrestling videos on this channel, but I will always do it for WrestleMania. So what we're going to do is go through every match on the two-night card. Right now, there are 13 matches officially announced, and I'll offer my predictions for each match and my reasoning behind them. So let's get right into it. Night one. So tag team championships on the line. The War Raiders defending against the New Day. Now, I've been a fan of the War Raiders ever since they joined forces back in the Ring of Honor days way back when. And I'm glad that they have a WrestleMania title match. But everything about this says New Day wins. I think those tag titles have been very much ignored. I feel like they have not been meant to mean a whole lot. And ever since the New Day turned heel back in December, basically Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods leaving Big E behind, that was a huge heel turn, but not much has been done with them since. And the titles have gotten so little attention. I think it's one of those rare situations where the titles need the wrestler as opposed to the other way around. So I'm going to say the New Day take the titles at WrestleMania. Match number 2, Rey Mysterio against El Grandeamericano. So think about this. On one side, you have an absolute legend of Lucha Libre, somebody admired all over the world, somebody who will go down as being one of the best to ever do it. And on the other side, you got Rey Mysterio. What can I say? It is said that Chad Gable still doesn't have a WrestleMania solo match, but that aside. But El Grandeamericano has caught on very, very quickly. Rey Mysterio, seriously, he doesn't need this win. EGA has only been around a couple of weeks. I think he needs this win to establish himself. There's a long way to go with this character. You can't have him lose his first match at WrestleMania. Rey doesn't need the win at this point. So El Grandeamericano with the win. Number 3. All right, we got a singles match. We've got Jade Cargill against Naomi. This, to the best of my recollection, is the first women's match at WrestleMania, singles match, without a title on the line since maybe Molly Holly and Victoria back at WrestleMania 20, back at the Garden. I don't expect this to be pretty. I expect it to be gritty. These two have quite a feud building up, all about Naomi taking out Jade for months, throwing her off the trailer and for basically landing on the car. And this is basically Naomi's the veteran here. It's up to her to get a good match out of Jade, who looks amazing, but is still a little bit raw at having one-on-one solo matches. I think Naomi gets this win because I see this being the beginning of a long feud. So I'm going very heel heavy. I've got heels winning with the first 3 matches. Well, we'll switch that up on this next match. The United States Championship, LA Knight, defending against jacobfatu. Now, the easy thing would be is to say Jacob wins. He's new. He's exciting. He is a force. He has arrived on the scene in WWE and made an impressive impact. He's got a dangerous aura about him is what I would say. Like, he comes out to the ring and the crowd has that little ooh, the little gasp, like when Gunther comes out or when Brock Lesnar would come out. Jacob is on the verge of establishing that. But I don't think he wins this match. I don't think so. I think this is going to be a situation where the bloodline, where Solo, Sikoa, Tama Tonga somehow cost him the match, whether intentionally or unintentionally. LA Knight retains, and I think we're going to see Jacob and Solo really split up and have a match at Backlash in just a month or so. Singles match for the WWE Women's Championship. Tiffanystratton defends against Charlotte Flair. The buildup has been, well, interesting. At least it's been getting attention. You could say that for sure. I hope their in-ring chemistry is a lot better than they are on the microphone. Now, I think this match could be great or terrible. Tiffany is only 25 years old. She's definitely on her way up. I don't think she is quite there yet as a long-term champion, especially based off her promos. She just comes across as very whiny sometimes. I know Charlotte has been, pushing her, maybe trying to rattle her a little bit. It just hasn't felt right. And I think I prefer the idea of Tiffany chasing Charlotte as champion as opposed to Charlotte chasing Tiffany as the champion. So say what you want about Charlotte. I know a lot of people can't stand her, and that's up to them. Whether it's her looks or whether it's her last name or that her character hasn't really changed. It hasn't really needed to, in all fairness. But she gets reactions, and that's the most important thing. Charlotte wins, and that's championship number 15. Match number 6, we're going to go with the World Heavyweight Championship match. Gunther defending against main event Jeyuso, or not quite main event Jeyuso in this case, since this will not be the main event on night 1. Gunther has beaten Jeyuso 3 straight times. An Intercontinental Championship match, a King of the Ring semifinal match, then a World Championship match on Saturday night's main event. Gunther is a dominant champion. He is an amazing presence. Here's the thing, though. And this is what I think about Jeyuso. If he doesn't win this match, if he doesn't overcome Gunther here in this spot, when's he ever going to do it? Jeyuso may never be a world champion, but I'll tell you this. He's never going to be as over or as hot as he is right now. It seems like Jey, you either love that he's as over as he is or you hate him. Not much middle ground. And Jay's very good, but he's had some rough matches. Last year, I think about last year against Jimmy at WrestleMania, a tremendous disappointment. The SummerSlam match he had against Roman for the championship almost about a year and a half ago now, that match disappointed as well. Jey has a lot of doubters, and he's got to shut them up. I think he takes the world title, but he doesn't hold it very long. I don't think he's going to have the championship past SummerSlam, but I do see a feel-good moment here for main event Jeyuso. And then the main event on night 1, it's a triple threat match with nothing on the line except maybe Paul Heyman's services. Roman Reigns, CMPunk, Seth Rollins. And it's about Heyman more than anything. Who's he going to side with? Will there be a swerve of some kind? Well, we've seen the tension building up. Roman pie-facing Heyman on the most recent edition of Monday Night Raw. And Punk has been manipulating Heyman, so Heyman will be in his corner. That was the favor that was owed. You got Seth Rollins threatening Heyman as well. He's pushed him around a few times also. A lot of people seem to think that Heyman will align himself with Seth Rollins. It could happen. I don't necessarily want to see that because I don't think Rollins really needs Heyman. But I could see a situation where both Roman and Punk are getting very demanding of Heyman, telling him to do this, ask him, what are you doing? They put their hands on him, and he finally just gets sick and tired of it, says, screw you both, and walks out. But Roman doesn't need the win here. I think Seth is going to take this win in a very sneaky, sudden way. He needs the win more than anybody else. I'm going to say Seth wins the triple threat. Okay, on to night 2. So I'm going to talk about a situation where we don't have a match established, but I expect something to happen. So unfortunately, due to Kevin Owens having neck surgery, he is out for a very long length of time. That leaves Randy Orton without an opponent. You're not going to have WrestleMania without having Randy Orton on the card. The question is, who's he going to wrestle? I think there will be an impromptu match. My thought was it would be Nick Aldis, the SmackDown general manager. But the fact that Randy Orton hinted at that happening last Friday on SmackDown, that tells me it's likely not going to happen. But maybe that was just to test the crowd to see how they would react to it. Because Nick Aldis is a very accomplished wrestler. He's just never wrestled in WWE. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do think Randy will have a match and he will win because the next show is Backlash. That takes place in St. Louis, which is his hometown. Count on Orton having a very prominent role on that show. I could see him going against Sheamus, but there should be a little bit of a build for it. They alluded to Solo Sikoa. I have no interest in that. Maybe somebody returning like an Aleister Black or a Rusev, but do you want to bring somebody back just to have them lose immediately at WrestleMania? I don't think it makes much sense. Right now, I'm just going to lean towards Sheamus. Okay, I'm recording this as of Wednesday morning before anything's been announced. I'm going to say Randy Orton beats Sheamus. All right, for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, you've got the champions Liv Morgan and Raquelrodriguez against Bayley and Lyravalkyria. I'm taking Liv and Raquel. I love them as a team. They complement each other perfectly. Liv has been amazing over the last year. Raquel, I think, is criminally underappreciated. And I look at the other side, Bayley and Lyra were just thrown together. Okay, they won the gauntlet match on Monday, I believe it was. Lyra has, or that was on SmackDown, whatever it was. But Lyra has the IC title. She and Bayley, they don't strike me as a team. I think it's just a makeshift situation. And I say they lose this match and they will continue to feud over the Intercontinental title. So Liv and Raquel for the win. Okay, this another singles match, AJ Styles against Logan Paul. This is a very under the radar match. I think it's one that's not really getting much attention, but you have two fantastic athletes here. One who's been in pro wrestling for over 25 years, and then you got an up and comer who is about as arrogant as it gets, like polar opposites in that way. I don't know how many more WrestleManias AJ Styles will have, but the last time he's never really had that standout WrestleMania match. Probably the two best ones he has had have been the Boneyard match against The Undertaker during the COVID WrestleMania, which is its own category. And he had a pretty good match with Shane McMahon as well. And the last time he won at WrestleMania was WrestleMania 35. It was 6 years ago. We're up to 41 now. I'm going to look at it this way. Logan eliminated AJ from the Royal Rumble. There have been a few call-outs back and forth on TV. I think there'll be a couple of really exciting spots at some point, but AJ deserves the win. I say he gets it. Then we got a four-way for the Intercontinental Championship match. Bronbreakker defending against Penta, Finnbalor, and Dominic Mysterio. This could go in a number of ways. Balor and Dom have had tension for months. It feels like the Judgment Day is dissolving ever so slowly, just week by week. Another spring flies off the machine. I think it culminates in this match. I think Dom will cost Finn the title. I think it'll be a situation where Finn has the championship won, and somehow Dom costs him. I think it's a little bit soon for Penta to have the title. He doesn't need it at this point. And as far as Braun Breaker goes, I think he could be main eventing WrestleMania next year. I could see Money in the Bank. I could see a Royal Rumble victory. I think the next 6 months are going to be a huge, huge deal for Braun Breaker. And this is a perfect way to take the Intercontinental title off of him because he doesn't have to eat the pinfall or tap out. It makes sense. So I would expect Penta or Balor get pinned, and it's going to be by Dominic Mysterio, and Balor is basically kicked out of the Judgment Day and turns babyface. All right. The Sin City... All right. Then we've got the Sin City Street Fight, Damianpriest against Drew McIntyre. This, I think, has had one of the best builds of any of the matches on the card. Go back to last year. Priest cashed in his Money in the Bank on Drew McIntyre to win the world title. And then Priest eliminates Drew in the Royal Rumble. Then Priest eliminates him in the Elimination Chamber. And ever since then, they've had back and forth exchanges. You know, Drew getting the better of it one week, Priest getting the better of it another week. I say that Priest has had the edge in the last two PLEs. This time, Drew gets it. I'm going to say Drew gets the win in the street fight. Number 5, we'll call it number 5 for official matches on night 2. Triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. Iyosky defends against Bianca Belair and Rhearipley. I was expecting this to be Rhea and Bianca going back a year. Figured it'd be a one-on-one match. It's a match we've never really seen, but then Io upsets Rhea on Raw for the title. Pretty amazing. And then Io, she does kind of feel like the third wheel, even though she is the champion. I think, here's what I'm thinking. Bianca has more to do with this Jade and Naomi storyline. I don't think it's the right time to put the championship on her. So I'm a little bit torn on Rhea versus Io, but Io getting the win, I think, would mean more for her than it would for Rhea. So I'm going to say Io keeps the championship. And then finally, the main event of night 2. For the WWE Championship, it is Cody Rhodes defending against John Cena. A couple things I got to say here. I'm frustrated we have not seen The Rock since the Elimination Chamber. He has barely even been alluded to, except for the one time by Cody Rhodes when he and Cena were in London and having that head-to-head promo on Raw. But Rock is probably the catalyst for Cena turning. Cena's never mentioned The Rock in any of his 3 appearances yet. We'll see if he does that Friday night on SmackDown. But Cena is booked for several shows after WrestleMania. And remember, this is his final WrestleMania. I don't see him making all these appearances in the springtime if he isn't the champion. And this is his chance to break Ric Flair's record, claim that 17th World Championship. He may not get another one the rest of this year, may not get that next opportunity. The thing that I struggle with, would WWE have Cena win that 17th World Championship and do it as a heel, where it would be a bitter feeling? Because winning that 17th World title, it should be a moment of celebration, whether you're a Cena fan or not a Cena fan. I have never really been a big Cena fan, but I respect what the man's accomplished over the years. It's fascinating to think about if WWE would have the stones to give Cena the championship as a heel. Because here's the thing. if he loses this match to Cody, all right, Cena hasn't won a one-on-one match in 6-7 years. If he was to lose in the Royal Rumble, go to the Elimination Chamber, didn't make any appearances between the Rumble and the Chamber, mind you. He goes to the Chamber, wins it, immediately turns heel, and doesn't have another match till WrestleMania, which is the case. And then he loses that match. Of what use was the heel turn? That's the thing I can't really figure out. You've got to justify the heel turn, and that requires John Cena becoming the new champion. And then think about all these other matches he could have. He could defend against Punk, against Roman, against Priest. There's all kinds of matches that can open up with Cena as a heel, and I think that's pretty exciting. So let's see what winds up happening. I can't say this is the WrestleMania that I'm looking forward to. I was actually in Vegas the last time they had WrestleMania there, WrestleMania 9 in the Caesars parking lot. Going to be a little bit more, the production's going to be done up a little bit better, I would say. But I am looking forward to the show, maybe not as much as some other years, but you know what? Sometimes it's okay to underpromise just a little bit on the bill because it's easier to over-deliver on the actual event. Sometimes the hype is so high that you can't possibly live up to it. So I am looking forward to it, and let's see what happens. Hey, thanks everybody. Thanks everybody very much for joining me. Be sure to check me out every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. for the Wednesday night live show. Everybody have a great day, and I will see you right back here with more content from you. Hey, you all know where, right? The Wicker Chair.